What's been the biggest challenge this year for you in terms of putting this defense together?
Well, I mean, just, kind of early you're talking Chinese a little bit and Japanese, and we're all trying to get on the same page first as coaches. Then you got to go present it to the players. And we're getting to the point now where I don't have to be as much involved with install as much as I was through probably the first 5 days of spring ball and camp. Because we kind of did bring this system, and I think the guys, our coaches have learned it. We can let them go with the guys now and kind of get it done that way.
You guys have been so successful, especially this last week, but overall in the season on third down. What has been the biggest reason?
I said to you guys earlier, I truly believe in all my heart that tomorrow will be a third down day for us. That's what we do, and we put a lot of time and effort in on that because that is the money down. That is the down to get off the field. These kids have been resilient. They do what we ask them to do, and if we practice it, we get it. And I'm very, very proud of them for that, buying into that deal, and we got to continue that.
Seems like Jenkins, since his suspension, he's played a lot better. You see that as something clicked with him on?
I thought he was playing pretty good before the suspension. I think that the suspension, I saw him at that game, and you could see the hurt, the learning process happening. Football's very, very important to Steve. Very important. And for him not to be able to play a game and be healthy, and to sit there and watch his teammates where he could really have helped us, I think was really a learning lesson for him.
A couple of your defenders talked about how you keep it fun, have fun with them. How important is that in the coaching process to make sure
we work so hard. It's footman. We're all in this together, and I think that starts at the top with Kevin. I call a players coach. Kids got to trust you nowadays. Times are different. They just are. Even with my girls, it's different, and they got to know that you care about them. You got to have a little fun, and you got to keep it real with them. And I think players respond to that at all levels. And that gives me an opportunity when it is time to put the foot down. I can do that, and they don't take it personal. We're grading the performance, not the person. That's the key.
We hadn't talked a lot about Jonathan Mathis. What have you seen from him? Seeing a guy continuing to progress in your defense?
Yeah, he is. He's giving us good quality reps. He's giving Kirby a chance to get a blow. We got him a lot of reps Saturday. Obviously missing spring ball is hurting. And Jonathan's a guy that needs to continue to come. He's got, 5 games left, 6 games, whatever it is. He needs to continue to come.
What are your thoughts on Tyler Russell in relation to some of the other quarterbacks y'all face this year?
Wow, I think he's playing really well. Really, really well. He's operating within their system. He's not turning the football over. He's got a tremendous arm. The most impressive thing about this kid is he stands in the pocket and takes the shot. We are going to have to cover a second and a half longer than we have all year long. I think that as I watch the Alabama game, I think the same thing happened to them in their secondary. At times we're able to rattle people and eyes go places and feet start to move and the ball's out. This kid has tremendous, tremendous poise in the pocket. He's been the difference in the little bit I've watched Mississippi State from afar. He's been the difference in this whole deal. And I think the running back's really good too, gang. He reminds me of an older Trey Williams. That's who he puts me in mind of. Big offensive line. And number one, the wide receiver is pretty good. And he reminds me of Tavon Austin from West Virginia. He's a guy that can go the distance in a heartbeat. So they're gelling pretty well. There's a reason they've only lost 1 game. We got a heck of a challenge in front of us Saturday.
We asked you before the season started how much you were looking forward to some, these SEC road trips and the newness of it all for A&M altogether. Right. How much fun has it been?
It's been great. For me too. I said Saturday walking into Auburn, what a great environment that is. To have the record they have and the crowd they had and as loud as they were, that could be a very, very intimidating place. It was a little bit, to be honest with you. Really, really neat. So excited to go on these next couple, and I think our kids are too. We gotta make sure we get them to bed and get them up early and get their juice going.
It's still week to week. I think you saw it the week before. We had 4 turnovers and lost and only scored 19 points. So it's still a week-to-week deal. It's a growing process. We haven't come close to what I think we can become with this group, and still a bunch of young guys out there playing. So we just keep getting better and protect the football, and knows what will happen.
So if you score 63 points when you're not close, what's the?
No, I just think things have to fall in place, but consistency is key in this deal. I mean, we're going to run a bunch of plays and do some positive things, but it's doing it over and over and not turning the ball over, not having penalties in crucial times, things of that nature.
When I asked Easy about scoring 63 at Auburn, which was the most by an opponent ever on their home field, he said that you had told him to score 70 or maybe 80. Is that just a philosophical thing? Or?
Well, we want to score every time we get it, you know, and I think that's a big part of this offense, having that belief in yourself and that you should, every time you have the football, be trying to score points. We're not trying to run the clock or have moral victories when we want to put the ball in the end zone.
Is it fun for you to see their faces though when you tell them, hey, we need to score 70 or 80, and you know that excitement of everybody's going to get involved?
Yeah, I think they thought I was crazy since day one when I got here with the V-neck on. They were a little suspect, so they're still trying to figure me out, I think.
So when you tell them that, do you tell them that after you put 63 on the board, or was that before the game, or when?
No comment.
How pleased were you with Johnny's ability to bounce back after that emotional loss out here to LSU 1 week ago?
Yeah, I knew he would. I mean, he doesn't let things like that bother him. We corrected the mistakes. He knew what he could have done better and goes right back at it. I mean, I've said it from day one, he's a fearless kid, and mistakes don't slow him down. I mean, he's going to go out there and play to win and do everything he can for his teammates to win the game.
It was like to have all three running backs kind of in the flow and in the mix on Saturday.
It was good to get Trey back involved. You know, he's really been practicing well and picking up the system. And so to get him touches was really encouraging. See Mike is back to being, you know, see Mike full speed, looks great, and Ben's been steady the entire year.
You see Mike and Molina a lot of times together for a few plays. Was that just what Auburn's defense was giving you, or is that something we can see some more of?
We'll see how the year goes. Just kind of a package we're working with.
How much fun has it been for you to inherit a guy like Ryan Swope in his last year, but obviously shows so much toughness out there?
It's been great, especially for the younger receivers and for Johnny to watch a guy like that who's played so much, give that much effort at practice, in the games. And to see him have success in two different leagues just tells you the type of player that he is.
How pleased have you been with the play of Cedric on the inside?
He's done a great job. He's very athletic. He can play tackle, he can play guard, he can play center for us. So one of those guys that can do it all. And a great kid, great attitude. I think just a sophomore, I think the sky's the limit for his potential.
What about the ability of Mike Evans to play through what seems like some sort of lingering injury, just the way that he's been able to still contribute despite that?
Yeah, you know, he hadn't been full speed, and I know he's been kind of mad about that. He wants to be out there playing at, you know, full speed the entire time, but he's really pushed through and been tough for us, and we need him. He's a physical presence out there that we need on the outside, and so that's been huge for him, toughing it out.
In terms of Swope, when he takes a hit like he did at Louisiana Tech and he's playing 7 days later, how impressive is that he fights through something like that?
It's big time, and his teammates see that, and to continue to go back across the middle, you know, with the fearlessness, and that's what he does, and that's the way he plays. He knows one speed, and that goes a long way for the entire offense.
What are some of the big reasons you think you guys are running the ball so well lately?
I don't have an answer. I just think the O-line's doing a great job, obviously. Johnny's checked us into some good run checks, and then those running backs, once they get in their hands, are pretty special. So.
How important is it for the psyche of the team to put 63 up like that? Because now they've seen they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, they put up 58 and 59 too, so I think they feel good about what they can do. I think the whole deal all year has been, if we don't turn the ball over and we don't go backwards, if we're just moving forwards, playing downhill, we feel like we give ourselves a chance to win in the fourth quarter, and that's what we want to do.
But what have you seen from this Mississippi State defense, particularly in the back end of the corner and safety?
Yeah, corners, really athletic, long-rangey guys, made a ton of plays for them, lots of turnovers. And that's a big deal. I mean, they're #1 in turnover margin going into last week. By far the most looks we'll see coverage-wise, front-wise, blitz, things of that nature. So it's a very challenging scheme with a bunch of good players running it. So it'll be a huge challenge for us.